Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show, the show that is not for entertainment purposes. Today we're going to be discussing a lot of things, but let's just say we're going to be discussing subject matter around portals and the attributes of portals and you'll understand as we start and go through it in depth. As you may have noticed when the thumbnail for the show was an image of the Back to the Future flux capacitor. And you may have noticed also that the Back to the Future flux capacitor is in the image of a woman's reproductive system. Why is that? Well, we're going to talk about it, we're going to explore it, and we're going to get into it. First, I'd like to say, though, thank you to Super Dave, who very well may be here, and he is here already. Objects falling from the sky, loud booms and trembling. What else can happen? And yeah, people's lights going out after the things went on in western South Carolina, apparently. And I haven't even looked into it that much, but thank you, Super Dave, for being here. Mike Smith may be also here in just a little while. They are both, Super Dave and Mike, are our supernatural moderators, and they're in the messaging with y'all guys. And we also have our supernatural co-host here with us today, which of course is Shannon, aka Soul 7. And we have Roxy here with us today, aka the Roxy Files, theroxyfiles.com. And we also have you there, Roxy. What happened to Roxy?
I'm here. I'm otherwise occupied. I can't get my YouTube live.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, Roxy's here with us, and Miss Kim is here, right over here, hanging out. And
Hello.
you can see her little icon on the screen there, a little Southern Belle. And so we've got a whole big team here of 6 with us today, and of course, many of y'all guys are on the team as well in many ways. All of our supporters that are out there, all of you, whether you've donated or whether you've made comments or whether you've shared our videos, you're all part of the Supernatural Show team, and we thank you very much for that. So again, today we're going to be talking about why the flux capacitor from Back to the Future looks like the female reproductive system, or the image of the goat. Okay. And we're probably going to talk about a lot of different things related to that, and even some more subjects. Also today we're going to be announcing the pre-registration, or we're now accepting pre-registration for the Angel Cruise. And I'm going to be showing you the web page, giving you the address where you're going to be able to go, and you're going to be able to show, you're going to be able to read all the details and stuff. Basically at this point it's just simply pre-registration. It's saying, yeah, I would like to go. If it works out, if I can, I would like to go, and maybe here I got a couple people might like to go with me, but it's just pre-registration. There's no obligation, no nothing. It's just who's interested, because we need to see if we have a large enough group of people who are interested in going. And I want to show this address, but I think somehow I've got to bring that forward in order for that to show. Let me see if I can see how to bring that forward. Not that it matters that much, because I'm going to show the website and everything here in just a few minutes. I'm sure there's a way to do that, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. So, so yeah, we are going to be taking pre-registration for the Angel Cruise. The Angel Cruise, in short, is many of you that have been around for a long time have heard me tell all the stories about all the different times that I have a lot of times either been on the water's edge, like the beach, or a mountaintop, and the angels come to me. They're big, bright balls of light. When we see them with our flesh eyes, big, white, bright balls of light. A lot of people call them orbs. A lot of people call them a lot of things because they don't realize what they actually are. I've seen them very up close. I've seen them do all kinds of things up close and personal. So those are the angels I'm talking about, and we're going to be looking uh, at all the details around the cruise and all that here in just a minute. Although we don't have all the details because we're not taking reservations, we're taking pre-reservations at this point. So let's see, what else do I got that I'm supposed to be talking about here real quick. Let's see. What am I supposed to be talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know
Did you
either.
show them the new website?
No, I'm going to here in a second. We're
And you're
using
saying that you're slightly weak and Roxy has an echo.
slightly weak.
Yeah, see where Dave said that.
My audio is slightly weak.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
well,
gotta figure out how to get this audio dialed.
I can definitely turn up some audio.
Yes, we are using new tools and platforms
Yep,
such.
a lot of new tools. Exactly.
As we grow, there are gadgets.
Let me bring myself up a little bit. That's another 35%. Hopefully that sounds a little better. Let me know if it still seems a little low. And it could be possibly because of background noise cancellation. I've got a fan going over here, and that sometimes can cause a problem. So let me know, guys, if that sounds better. He said Roxy's got a slight echo. I don't know anything you can do on your side about that, Roxy.
I don't have any audio adjustments up here for this.
All right, so let's see here. Let me, hang on just a second. We've got
That were pretty good. Just needed to turn the hum of your fan down.
that may be what it is. Can you hear it sometimes?
Yeah, I can hear it. It's like a constant whoosh in the background.
Constant roar, whoosh.
Now I got an echo again.
Turn the fan down, boy. I'm sorry, but
All right, let me turn it down some.
Roxy has an echo.
This show may also be a test run, just so we get things settled on.
Guaranteed this. Guaranteed. I've got so many buttons on my side, it'll about blow your mind. I could give you an example easily, but we're going to show you the website. But let's see.
I changed the only setting I had, so
Let's go with the entire screen up top. Well, let me show you down bottom first. Okay. This is the production studio part of it that runs, as you can see there, that I'm having to run and control all the scene changes, and it's a lot. And then I can switch to the upper panel and show you what's up here, which is the new system that we're using that controls all of everything else when it comes to the video, the live video, and the live audio. And we're still trying to learn it all. There's literally a lot to understand. So we've got it kind of working. Hopefully it's good enough that y'all guys will be able to hang in there with us, because we do have some very interesting stuff to talk about today. Let's see. Oh, and then of course we've got the actual live stream itself in the background running on the Rumble Studio, which is there as well. And very soon we're also going to have another piece of software that's going to be running, and what it's going to do is it's going to feed in all of the chat from all of the platforms at once, and have it where we can have it on screen. And where is my window that I want? This is it. Okay. This is it. Okay. So, a couple of notes that I've
They
got
said
here.
for you to talk a little bit louder.
Still louder. Okay, hang on.
Says Roxy sounds like she's talking on a CB echo mic.
Okay, everybody in the comments, everybody that's watching, a 10, put a 10 in if the audio is perfect. Put a 1 in if it's terrible. And of course, if it's somewhere in between, put that in there. We need to understand if this is one person having this problem, or 2 or 3, or if it's everybody. So 1 to 10, rate the audio 1 to 10, if you would please, for us. And bear with us. We will get all this ironed out, so it will be solid and perfect, but right now we're still struggling with it. And it's mainly just because there's a learning curve that goes along with all this here. So let me see if I can adjust my audio settings a little bit more. Bring myself on up to 166, I guess, be good enough. 166%. Hopefully that's a little bit louder. Alright, now let's go back and let's try to find my window again. My window, here we go. Alright, could you see that okay, Roxy and Shannon?
Yep.
Oops, wait a minute. That is not the window I wanted.
Yeah,
That's not the window I wanted.
you're on the control room panel.
Yeah. Okay. Where's it at? That's it. Okay. Sorry guys. Okay, so Julie Cook out of Cocoa, Florida, you should have your Cosmic Choir t-shirt that you ordered. It should have been delivered already, probably days ago. Okay. If for some reason you do not have that, please get a hold of us. You can send us a text at 843-284-3343 if you have any problems, but I'm pretty sure it's been delivered by now according to everything we can see. Angel Cruise. Let's go straight to the Angel Cruise, and then we're going to be jumping into the flux capacitor and why it looks like the female reproductive system and why it behaves like the female reproductive system. And so yeah, we're going to be doing that here in just a minute. Let's go over to the Angel Cruise. Okay, so we have updated the website itself. A little bit of a new look, a little bit of a simpler functionality, okay? And I've got still some more work to do on it, and then we're going to be doing Beyond the Veil episodes using our new software that allows us to do Beyond the Veil episodes truly beyond the veil. You see, the system we're using right now is a peer-to-peer system, meaning our video communication and audio communication is not going through any server anywhere. It's all in-house and directly peer-to-peer between Roxy, Shannon, myself, and Miss Kim. And if you were there, it would be with you. Okay, so it's going to be pretty awesome, and we won't have to worry about any possibility of a strike or being censored or anything. We are slowly but surely overcoming all of that. Okay. And yes, we're still working on an app also for y'all guys to be able to get directly on your phone. So now on the website, you can come here and you can just click on any of these simple icons up front, and you've got a menu bar at the top up here as well, which I've condensed and reorganized. And if you want to come here, you click on Watch Live. Just give you a quick little tour here. You can click on Watch Live and it'll show you everywhere that you can watch the show live. This is all the places we're actually live right now. Okay. So as you can see, we're live at about 11 places or so, something like that. Okay. And you can also come here and you've got the Beyond the Veil section, which has got I'm doing some more updating like I was saying a minute ago. You've got the Angel Cruise. That's what we're going to look at now, is the actual Angel Cruise. That is this page here. And if you were standing on a cruise ship looking out over the water and the sun has set and the angels decided to show up, it would look potentially it would look very, very, very similar to that right there. Okay? Big, huge, bright balls of light, and they appear out of nowhere, except for right before they appear, and you can find this in my documentary that I've done that I believe is on Rumble. It may be on YouTube. I believe it's on YouTube as well. It's called UFOs, Orbs, and Lights in the Heavens, or something like that. And because when the angels come to appear, what they do first before they appear is they have to spark. They literally put off a spark. And if you're out there at nighttime and you are looking up at the night sky or over the ocean or on the mountaintops or wherever you're at, if you're seeing these little sparks around in the sky, and I'm not talking about lightning bugs, but little sparks, that it can be an indication that they're there and around, and because they will flicker like that, these little sparks. And that's actually tied to the conversation we're going to be having about the flux capacitor and the spark that goes on there, like the lightning bolt that struck the clock tower when it had to send them back to the future or time travel, and why it's tied directly to the female reproductive system. When a human egg is fertilized, it sparks. Okay, so all things work similarly and the same. It's just all on a matter of a micro scale, a nano scale, or a macro scale, or a mega scale, or mega scale. Okay, it's all on the same level. So now let's take a look at the Angel Cruise here. A little bit of the details. It says, join Daniel Alexander Cannon, Miss Kim, Shannon, and Roxy on a Caribbean cruise to witness the angels for yourself, along with excursions, presentations, angel video documentary, and other supernatural stories from all, along with all the benefits of a cruise on a giant ship in the tropics. At this time, we are taking pre-reservations to determine approximately how many people are interested in joining us all. All the details and pricing will be produced and provided to everyone prior to any deposits or actual reservations with the cruise line that we choose. The plan is to set it up in advance enough that it will allow participants to possibly make payments over a period of months, so that it may be easier for more to join in on this supernatural event. Please fill out the no obligation pre-reservation form below, and we will be updating you very soon. So down below you see the arrow pointing down. You come down here and you have the form that everybody needs to fill out. Of course, simple things like first name, last name, email address, phone number, those are required entries. All four of those are required. And then there's a bunch of questions that I would hope that every one of you will try to answer that fills this out. Will try to answer the questions as best you can. Like, how will you attend, in person or virtual? Reason why I say virtual is because we're going to offer, work it out somehow so that while we're on the cruise, we'll have opportunities for people to either do like a donation-based pay-per-view where you can join in and be there with us in a way, at least virtually, through the magic of the internet, you might say. So we're going to have virtual participants as well as in-person participants. So how will you attend, in person or virtual? How many total people will be in your group, including you? Okay. What state or country will you be traveling from? Likely we're going to be leaving out of Florida, just so everybody knows. How many nights would you prefer? 3 to 5 nights, 7 nights, 10 to 14 nights. Okay? And there's more details that you can read here that kind of explain it further. Okay? So pretty much each question has some details to explain further. What type of cabin would you prefer? Interior, which is the most budget type of option. Ocean view, so you have a window, which is a little bit more expensive, or a balcony, which is even more expensive, or a suite with a balcony, which is even more expensive. But you choose which one will likely fit you. It's not a choice that you're going to be stuck to. You could change it later. Matter of fact, all these things, you're not stuck to anything. Attending single, meaning you're wanting to come and you're going to be by yourself, traveling by yourself. Would you be open to a shared cabin with a stranger, or one of us, the viewers and stuff? Would you be open to a shared cabin to reduce cost by 30 to 50%? With the cabins on the cruise ships, they're assuming that there's a double occupancy, so they're expecting for 2 people to buy tickets for that cabin. And if you only get 1 ticket and there's nobody else going to be in the cabin with you, it gets quite a bit more expensive. So you have the choice here to choose, would you consider that? Or maybe you will choose, I have someone coming with me. So you would just select that one. Would you prefer to pay all at once or in installments? If so, how many? All at once? 3 monthly installments, 6 monthly installments, or 9 monthly installments? You just choose whatever it is that would best fit you. It doesn't mean that we're going to be able to do exactly what you want, but we're going to try to do what the majority of the people can do and want to do. What is the most you could see paying for a cruise if you had 6 months to pay it off? Or it should say 3 to 6 months, or even 3 to 9 months, but some months to pay it off. 3 to 500-ish, 800-ish, 1200-ish, or 2000-ish. Of course, the more expensive is the longer cruises and upgraded rooms and stuff like that. Okay. What destinations would you prefer? You can choose up to 3. And it says, the first one is, does not matter. I am going for the angel viewing and meeting everyone. But you could choose that and choose some other places. Like you want to say, well, it doesn't matter, but I still like Belize, or I still like Barbados, or whatever it is you happen to choose. Okay? And then lastly here it says, will anyone in your group have special needs, like a wheelchair, or you have a special diet maybe, or you have some other kind of special need. Okay? So that we can keep that in mind.
Or walk with a cane, like me.
Yeah.
That is included.
Yeah, whatever it is, what we'll do is if we have some people that have some special needs where they think they're going to need a little help, we'll have a few volunteers. And of course, I'll be one of the first to volunteer. But we'll volunteer and help those people so that no one that wants to go that can pull it off will be able to go. Maybe you're like, well, I'm in a wheelchair and I don't have nobody to go with me, but you got the ability to go. If you can get to the airport, where we're at, we'll help you with the rest one way or another. Okay. So you answer all the questions and then you hit the register button. Okay. And you'll probably get an email that says, well, you will get an email, just saying that we got all your information and everything. But when you push the register button, also it'll let you know that it's submitted, and that's it. So if you think it's likely that you would like to attend this, I realize that there's all kinds of things going on in the world, and all kind of excuses as to why we may or may not have the opportunity to do this. However, I'm not going to base my life and my decisions and what I want to try to do with y'all guys off of just what they're doing. It's all fear based, and I'm just not going to do it. So we're going to do what we're going to do, and they're going to do what they're going to do. They're always going to do what they're doing. We know that is the case. But if we can pull it off and have the opportunity, we will, at a minimum, go on a cruise all together. And if we're lucky, we might even get to see the angels. As a matter of fact, I do believe I've got a little video here for us. Let's check this out. So there you kind of have it, the angel cruise that we're trying to put together. And somebody asked over there asked, are the viewers paying for this completely? The viewers already pay for this entire show completely. Okay, the viewers already fund this show. That don't mean you have to. That don't mean you have to go. But there are people that choose to contribute because of the quality of the material, the information that the Supernatural Show and myself bring. Just like we're getting ready to do here in just a few minutes with the information that my Father in Heaven shares with me. I bring it to y'all guys and give it to you freely. And I have done that for 15 years. I've been doing it freely. And I don't put a price on what I do, and I'm not really going to be the ones choosing the price on how much it costs to go on the cruise. Um, Normally, when somebody arranges a group cruise, uh, depending on how many people go, for the person that's doing the arranging, normally they will give them a free room. If you want to call that the viewers are paying for everything, if that's how you want to look at it, then that's how you want to look at it. But I'm not going to hide anything or say anything that's not true. Just like I say, the viewers that are watching this right now already pay for the supernatural show. And it's with great sacrifice that all of us are here. There's nobody here that's getting a paycheck for anything they're doing. We give freely, and we just thought it would be good to get together with everybody out there and go and see something that's possibly going to happen with the angels showing up, and I believe they will. That you can't go and ask and schedule and do anything like this anywhere else in the world. It doesn't exist. But I wanted to make it possible for us to all get together instead of doing it at a hotel. Why not a hotel on the water, which is where we'd be going to look for the angels anyways. So it's out of the love of my heart to try to do something like this and get together with everybody. It's not a profit situation. It's just it is the way it is situation. So I hope you understand. All right, so let's see what else do we got here. Guess we want to go ahead and get into the, let's see here, get into the main content for the show today. Unless anybody has any thoughts or questions or anything like that. We're going to be talking about, let's start over here, I guess. Let's see, which one is this? In fact, I think I have the actual image in a file that I used as a thumbnail. Let me see if I can go find that. Let's see where I got it at. It's in. I'm not positive where I put it now, but I'll find it here in just a second. Y'all guys hear me okay? Shannon?
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you.
All right, good.
You're here.
Okay, just making sure. Where is that picture at that I just had a while ago? Um, I hate it when I do that. Not quite prepared, I guess you could say. No, that ain't it. What did I do with it? I know I've got it. I've got it down here. Let me just, because I sent it to Roxy, so I'll have it. I'll have it on this browser down here, and I can just pull it up from there. I think I sent you. Who did I send it to? Roxy or?
Not me.
Not you. What it is, I'm trying to find the image that, and it's not there. Who did? Dang it, what did I do with it?
The comparative of the two.
Yeah, the side by side of the. Of
You
the,
skipped right over it in the file when you were in there looking for it.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You seen it? It's got the
I did.
side by side.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back in then. Let's see here. Thought it would have been in here. And it should be either here. No, it's not there. or here. No, not there. Or here. Ah,
Oh, there it goes.
look at there.
There,
What do you know?
there, stop. Oh my God, please stop.
Oh, thank goodness. Well, I could make some boring shows. Hey, but I warn y'all guys, the show's not for entertainment. If you're here to be entertained, you're in the wrong place. To be quite frank. Okay. Yeah. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, I can see it good.
Yeah, alright. So here's the question. Let's think about this a little bit. On the left, from the movie called Back to the Future, is the flux capacitor. Okay? It says shield eyes from light, and a little label that's red, right? And you can see that it's in a interesting layout configuration. And on the right, you can look and you can see that there's the female reproductive system, the entire womb and ovaries and fallopian tubes. And I don't believe it's by coincidence that they look similar. Okay? And they not only look similar, they function similar. You see, when Doc Brown wanted to go back to the future, he needed something that would produce, what was it, 2.1 gigawatts, whatever that number is. Matter of fact, if you go look up CERN and how much energy they need to use, pulsing of energy, it's the same number that comes right out of the movie. I've looked it up before. So the number that Doc Brown quotes in there for time travel is the same number that's quoted on the CERN website. No joke. Now, they need, what did they use? They used a lightning bolt for it to strike the cable when Doc Brown was hanging up there by the clock tower, right? And lightning bolt struck, energized, 88 miles an hour, time travel, right? Okay. On the right, in the female reproductive system, when, and I believe all of you have seen this, and many of you that are watching, will be when a egg is fertilized by a sperm, the egg will spark. And if you remember, I said that when the angels when they cross the veil, when they pierce the veil to come into where we can see them, they spark first. There's a spark, and then poof, there they are. Okay? So you got all three doing something similar. One is this time travel TV show sending a car through time, right? Across time, across the veil. The other, a woman's reproductive system, is bringing a spirit in from across the veil into our reality and produces a spark as well. What's the chance that that's just coincidence? I don't believe for a second that it's a coincidence at all. And I've got, let's see, where is my slideshow that I want to show? Let's see, I might have it right here.
You know what? When I was on there making avatars earlier,
Mm-hmm.
you know, while you're sitting there, there's other stuff that's populated in there.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a ridiculous amount of Back to the Future, like AI generated, and it would be like Doc Brown and Marty McFly in front of the pyramids taking pictures.
Uh-huh.
I just realized that there was a bunch of them in there.
Yeah, because if you look at this image too,
because it's
It's
listening.
in it's in it's the pyramidal image as well. You know, the it's got that. It looks like if you were looking at a pyramid from the top down. This one on the left, especially, and it would absolutely be tied to what you're talking about with the pyramids and the energy requirement. Think about like what was it? The name of the movie, Stargate. Okay, they had the portal thing, right? And they had
Hmm.
to have an enormous amount of electricity, and they'd have sparks flying everywhere, and it'd go. Um, when it got enough electricity, it would open the portal, right? There's all these little hints out there, but yet at the same time, all this is already it's written all over our bodies. Maybe some of you heard me talk about it before, but the reproductive system is a portal. Gordy Rose talked about it one time, talking about how they were opening a portal and something could be sent through or something might come through. Okay, and if you look at the human body, that's we have that all over the body, and it's all in this similar image. You can look at the eyes, you can look at the inner workings of the ear, you can look at the breasts, you can look at the reproductive system. It's just over and over and over, and it has to do with the supernatural fact that all things are created in God's image, but also that all things are on a micro scale and macro scale. So when you want to figure out what the world looks like or the universe looks like in real trueness, you need to look at yourself. When you want to know where you live, where we exist at, you need to look at yourself. Look at your eyes in the mirror. Look at where, like at the Garden of Eden, where was this the tree at? It's in the center, in the midst. The midst means the middle of the garden. Where does the seed grow in the apple? It grows in the middle. In the Genesis is in the middle of the garden, or of the apple, or of the orange, or of anything. The seed, the Genesis, the real life is in the center. Just like with a womb, the baby is in the inside, in the center of the womb. It ain't on the outside. Like I said, we don't live on a ball. We live in a ball. But it's a toroidal ball. It's a supernatural torus type thing. And once I can find my little spreadsheet here, I'm going to show it to you. Just got to figure out where I put it. I thought I had it up here ready to go. Nope. That ain't it either. Hold on. I know I've got it here. Okay. Here we go. There's the image I wanted. I already had it up ready to go. Imagine that. We are in presentation mode. Let me back out of that. Okay. What this is it's a document where I've got a lot of different images saved. And I thought I'd start the conversation of looking at some of these different images by starting a conversation about, this, the flux capacitor and its attributes of how it operates. Think about when Doc Brown, when they would travel through time, this fantasy movie thing, when they would travel through time, when they would leave, it would be fire. But when they got there, everything would be frozen. The car would have frost all over it, right? So like Back to the Future frozen car. Okay, there you go. So let's click on one of these, open this up real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Not that image, obviously. Let's pick another one. And they don't want us to see it either. I think this one shows it. I think. Not very well. But I think y'all guys get the point. Okay? Is that it's frozen. Here's a good example. If it'll open.
How cold does it actually have to be to store all those mega AI, quantum
So you know where I'm going with this.
AI?
Somebody's been paying attention.
They.
Well, CERN, all the jibby jabbies in the arms, they have to be stored hundreds of degrees below zero. Around the same, it's called what I think they call it 0 point or something like that. It's around the same temperature, of what CERN operates at. See, CERN, that they're using extremely high amounts of electricity, even claim in some cases the same as what Doc Brown quoted in the movie. And you got this same electricity thing, you've got this fire and ice thing that's going on. When they leave time traveling, it's fire. When they get there, everything's frozen. And then we have CERN operating at hundreds of degrees below zero. Thank you very much, Timber Traveler. I appreciate that. See, that's what I mean. People are so generous and kind that they help out and help us keep this information, this knowledge. It's not all coming from me. It's a group effort, and I also thank Father in Heaven for being able to show me and help me understand these things, because it's not easy. But I do the best job I can trying to present the information so y'all guys can. So thank you, Timber Traveler. Yeah, and thank you to Dave, Super Dave, and Mike Smith. I see you both there. Okay, so the jibber jabber is hundreds of degrees below. How about that? What's the name of those computers that Gordy Rose claims to have something to do with inventing, that are multi-dimensional? D-Wave? Yeah, D-Wave. D-Wave supercomputer, basically. D-Wave. Let's see. Let's just click on images. Probably see something better there. D-Wave. Demon wave. Wave, word for frequency. Computer. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Something like this. These AI supercomputers, they're all operating off a similar platform to what D-Wave is doing. Which these computers, this big box, or this big cube, as you might notice, is a giant freezer, because it is required to operate at hundreds of degrees below zero. Let's see if I can find a better image. Quantum computer, that's what I'm looking for, quantum. And so here is supposedly what they look like on the inside, something like that. And this is a freezer. And this box you see here has a coolant system built into it to allow the computer, the quantum system, in order to work where it is supposedly multidimensional. And this is where AI is also supposedly operating out of, is these type of computers. IBM has one, Google has one, Amazon, all those big guys, they're running their AI systems out of these. Now, if they're communicating across dimensions, across the veil, who or what are they getting their information from is a fair question. I think it's a very fair question. Thoughts, anybody?
I'm kind of listening, very interested, and I got zoned into what you were saying. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm
It's
thinking.
okay.
I mean, I get zoned in sometimes because when you look at these things, it's like picture after picture. You can relate everything from architecture to geometry back to the human body,
Yeah.
even all the way back to hieroglyphics. It's more than what you think it is.
Oh yeah. Way more. Way more. This is a museum in. It's called the Museum of the Future in Dubai. It's the mirror image of the torus, and also purple and gold. You notice in some of the images we were looking at in Back to the Future, like if we look at this image here, here's another piece of the puzzle. Anybody see a familiar color that has to do with deity? Purple, heliotrope. You know,
Shannon says she's on mute for some reason. She don't know again.
she done something again. Okay, hang on. Maybe I ain't done nothing, but let me see. Let me see if I can reconnect her mic again. Shannon, how about now? Shannon? Shannon, is it working? Uh-oh.
Her mute button's off.
No, she's here. There she is.
Why she got her, there she goes.
Oh, we can see you, but we can't hear you. No. Shannon, you got to quit breaking this stuff. I'm teasing. She probably didn't do nothing.
That mute button there is the mute thing.
No, it means she's muted now, but if she's supposed to be unmuted now.
Um,
I don't know, being you've never had any problem with this, but for some reason Shannon touches the computer, it goes boom.
she knows it does.
Yeah. Yep.
We have to learn it before we can teach it to Shannon.
Right, and we're still. It ain't easy to learn all this stuff, but I have, or I'm working on it. Working on it, anyways. Shannon, you might try refreshing or something to see if you'll get your mic to reconnect. Because I've tried to reconnect it from here, and last time I did that, it worked. Okay, so hopefully she'll be back here in a moment.
Lord, now I can't hear anything.
You can? Can you hear me, Roxy?
Okay, now I can hear you.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Our viewers are getting a heck of a show today.
Yeah,
Proceed on with the show for the
They're
moment.
like, boy, the more y'all guys improve this show, the worse it gets. Well, there is that, but we're working on it. We're working on a zero budget. You know what I'm saying? All the software and technologies we're using right now, the only thing we're paying for is the internet and the electricity to run it. Because I've had to figure out ways to do things with nothing. And so, literally, the show that you're seeing being produced is running off of nothing almost. Okay, so I was saying the color that they associated with this car, this time traveling thing, right? The color they've got on here is purple. You know, you've got heliotrope or purple on the front and on the back and in the plastics and in the wirings. And they've got underglow with purple on it. And you see this throughout the movie and different kinds of stuff. So, purple is a color of deity. It's a color of authority. It's the reason why they use the purple heliotrope lights on police cars. When that blue is flashing, your mind, it's a it's literally this thing that connects way back in your lineage, in your DNA, and in your makeup. Says to you, that's authority, purple. So when you see this color, this is associated with deity, and obviously with time travel and creation itself as well. All right, so we were over here, and the reason why I thought about purple was because we were looking at the Museum of the Future, and of course you got the purple lights. Like at Ground Zero, well, they've got 88 lights that are purple that shine up into the heavens once a year. They turn them on, and it's 88 super lights, and they're all this purple color, the same color again, and there happens to be 88 of them. 88 miles an hour to time travel. Is all this just a coincidence? Or am I just
Can
making
we
things
hear
up?
me now?
We can.
Oh,
What'd you do?
okay. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I refreshed it. It didn't work. I sat here. Now it works. I don't know.
Hey,
Now live with Shannon on the Supernatural Show.
yeah.
Maybe just technology just doesn't like me. I don't know.
It's,
So,
it's probably because there's ways to improve it, and I'm not quite there yet. It really has to do with me more than anything, getting this down and getting it right. Um, all right, let's see. Let me look through some of these images and see what else is related to maybe the subject matter. This slideshow here has 780 some slides in it, and I haven't been through it in a while, but yet all of it is still important. It's still related. Let's see here. Let me just go on up here and look at some of these other images. You know, the I mean, I could get way, me and Shannon have done it before, maybe me and Roxy a little bit, but I could get way deep into the discussion of the human body, but I don't want to sound uh, like I'm doing it just to, I don't know, sometimes it can come across wrong, I think. But, oh, that is where, I wonder if this is something I was looking for. Huh. Anyways, let me keep looking here. We can look at all these, but like you're looking at, so when I was putting this together, I was in the process of trying to figure out the symbolism of the past, of how they designed things the way they did and why they did, and why it was all similar to what I could see the world as a world. when I look at the world, when I look at everything, it all comes back to this same common theme. Like what you're looking at here in the pictures, this is what was called carnival glass, and it looks like a world. It's got literally a whirling center in here with something that looks like some kind of ancient writing around it here. It's very similar to what we were looking at a minute ago with the Museum of the Future. You got the scrolls, very similar as well, and how they designed them. Decode the term Bible. Bi means two, and bull means laws. Two laws, First and Second Testaments. Let's see if I got any other stuff here. I could read all that stuff, but I'd rather not right now.
Shannon has to go for the day, sir.
Does she?
She has a teenage garage band fixing to kick off in her house.
Oh Lord. Let's see, where are we at anyways
Yep.
on time count for the show? Where are we at? We're over an hour. Okay. Alright. Well, I guess mainly I kind of, it'll get a lot smoother once I can spend more time preparing instead of trying to spend more time getting all this software figured out and working and reworking the website and doing all these things. Of course, it just going to take us a little time to work all the details out. I'd hope y'all guys like the idea of the Angel Cruise and would consider, if you would consider going at all, go fill out that form at the website. It's right
I
there on the
explained to them
homepage.
in the comments that one of the things we're trying to do, I'm getting with the travel agent, but she kind of needs some parameters to work
Mhm.
from. Like, where do we want to go? What do we want to do? I got to be able to put her in a direction.
Right.
And we're probably going to be limited at a quantity of about 50 people that'll be able to go before we go jumping in size of what we're booking. So,
Right.
lots of things to consider. So we want your input before we give parameters. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah.
There's no commitment to it.
No.
Are you interested?
Well, do you like the idea? If we can pull it off, and if you can pull it off, and it's literally just giving us the data we need to be able to deal with trying to figure out what it would take to make it happen.
Well, and one thing about a cruise, I also saw somebody else ask, like, well, why a cruise? If you've never been on a cruise before, one thing about a cruise is once you get on that ship, you don't have to worry about figuring out what you gonna eat, where you gonna eat, what time you gonna eat, what are you gonna do. When you're on that ship, all that stuff is taken care of, so you can relax and enjoy the conferences and the conversations that we want to have.
You know,
And I
Your
can't
ho-
wait.
your hotel room is with you. It's like going on vacation that travels with your hotel room with you. And if you go just book a hotel room, it's going to cost you on the low side probably around $100 a day. If you go on a cruise, it ain't going to cost you no more than about $100 a day. Sometimes less.
Because
And you get
in the morning
you
when
get all
you
the
get up
stuff
to
that
go to
comes with it.
breakfast, the only decision you have to make is do you want to go to the dining room or do you want buffet?
Right.
And there's a smorgasbord
Yeah.
24/7,
And
so you don't have to worry about internet. Your room's cleaned, everything.
normally food is like included. Like most of the food is included in the cruises. And we'll detail all that out, like what's included, what's not, because some people have never been on a cruise. I've been on one.
I know.
You've been on one, Shannon? You've never been on a
No,
cruise before.
I've never been.
Okay.
Oh, I've been on a couple.
Like
So-
some people that
So, so Miss Kim will be her first time, and Shannon will be her first time. And
Well, like literally, when you get on the boat, you just go to your room and your luggage shows up. And then you
Mhm.
can take your clothes and put them in the closet, and You can leave in the morning. You don't have to worry about making your bed. When you come back, there's fresh sheets. Your bed's made. There's mints on it. You didn't have to cook
And
nothing or clean nothing. You can just
yep.
enjoy the world for a minute.
And the ship is so big, you don't have to wonder if there's something to go do, or something to go see, or something to go watch, or even just go outside on the deck and look at the ocean, or when the sun's setting, go out and look for angels, which we'll be doing as a large group. I mean, I can't make angels appear, but with all the times they've come to me, it's a very high possibility. I mean, I've had times where I see them every night in a row for 2 weeks, showing up over and over and over every night. And sometimes they show me supernatural things they can do. How when they streak through the air, they leave like pixie dust flying down behind them. I've seen one cast a lightning bolt into the ocean. I've seen them how fast they can fly. They taught me how they're not omnipresent. They're not all everywhere at once. A particular angel is wherever that angel is at that moment. Um, it's just so many cool things, and we would surely be talking a lot about that in our group get-togethers on the cruise. Um, so let's see. I guess that's probably about it for today. It's enough, and give you a few things to think about with the time travel aspect and how that might be tied actually to literally to birth and portals and all these kind of things. It's fascinating to me. And
Which is crazy because I've been down the Project Looking Glass for about a week,
mhm,
2 weeks now,
yep. And that
which directly relates right back to time travel.
the whole tumbling down the rabbit hole thing, that's like portal symbolism and portal stuff. And what was in the Alice in the Wonderland, and it was all about time. Your time is up, and all these kinds of things. It's it's a deep, fascinating subject that I can't help but continue to seek the truth and try to bring as much of it as I can to y'all guys, and let you decide what you think about it or don't. You know. So we're gonna keep doing that. And let's see, today's Friday, so hopefully nothing too crazy goes on this weekend. We did have apparently some kind of fireball come down out the sky in western South Carolina. Was it last night? Yesterday?
I think that's what.
Yeah, yesterday about lunch.
Yeah, around lunchtime.
Also in
It falls
Georgia.
out the sky, and then all the lights in the surrounding cities went out. It isn't like it come out the sky, something like a rock falling out the sky, or a satellite falling out the sky, or something and hitting something and destroying the substation or something. It's just something really strange going on there.
Well, it did hit a house. It did make impact into somebody's house in Georgia.
Oh, in Georgia? Oh, I didn't see. Like I said, I haven't looked into it that much. Oh, and what did you say, darling?
The people that was walking to Georgia this morning.
Yeah, I was sitting on the front porch this morning, and I seen a lady coming walking, and she was pulling I thought at first it was a baby carriage, but it wasn't. It was like a wagon, and it was full of stuff, and she was walking, and sitting there looking at her, and then here comes a man behind her walking, pulling a wagon, and it was a big wagon. I mean, and he was just pouring sweat profusely, and was trying to wipe his face off, and he'd grab it and go, and it was literally like 500 pounds, this wagon. And you'll understand why I know that here in a minute. But I was sitting on the porch, and I know some people aren't like this, but I bet a lot of people that are here are like this. But it made me cry to see these people walking like this. And they didn't look like the normal, like someone that was maybe strung out or whatever necessarily. And I tried to ignore it, but the spirit got so heavy on me I had to do something. So at a minimum, I got a empty milk jug and I filled it up with water. And they had passed and were on down the road just a little ways. And I jumped on my bicycle and went down there to them and gave them the water, a gallon of water, and talked to them for a little bit. And they're clean now. You can tell. There was a time when they had fell in a trap, and I really mean a trap, because there's no human being alive necessarily. The way I see it is that no one says, "I want to grow up and get hooked on drugs." It's that this world is literally designed to trap and destroy pretty much everybody and everything it can. And so anyways, I talked to them for a little bit, and they're walking to Georgia, pulling, he's got a cart, a huge cart, and it's almost everything he can do to pull it. It's got tents and some bedding and everything they have, and they're walking to Georgia.
She's great.
And she's pregnant. And she's wanting to try to get back to Georgia where she has some people there. And anyways, I just felt really like I wanted to try to help them. So what I did was I went ahead and I asked them, I said, "Do y'all guys have a cell phone?" They did happen to have a cell phone. I said, "Do you have any money?" "No." And I said, "Do you have a PayPal?" "No." "Venmo?" "No." "Cash App?" "Oh yeah, we do have a Cash App card in the app." I said, "Okay." So all I could do was send them the $21 that I had, and so when I got back, I got them to write down the Cash App number, and when I got back to the house here, I sent them the $21 that was in my Cash App that y'all guys gave me, and I'm sure y'all guys would think that's okay. And now all of a sudden, after I sent it, a few minutes later, I get some money come from Roxy. I'm like, "Hey Willis, what are you doing sending me money?" It's a joke thing.
I told you I've been stalking my Aunt Kim's Facebook page.
So apparently Miss Kim had put some information on Facebook about it and a little video, I guess, some video of them walking by, and sent me some money and wanted me to forward it to them, so I did. And I just can't help caring about people. Some people would see that as weakness,
He has a good heart, guys. Very good heart.
but I don't see it as weakness. I think it's a great strength. It's easy to turn your back on everything and everybody. It's not so easy to face things. And it don't mean that I can go out and say, "Hey, come move in with me. You can stay here, do this or that." But it does mean that we can help each other from time to time. I want to try to help them some more, but I don't want to come on here just acting like I'm trying to raise money to send to some strangers that are walking to Georgia. But I'll just say it as this: keep it simple and keep it on the smaller side, because I don't want to give them a bunch of money at once, because I don't know them well enough to know if it might trigger them, cause them to fall down. Because sometimes someone who's had problems in the past, they get a little bit too much money, they might decide they want to party, and I don't want that to happen. But They're walking to Georgia, which is hundreds of miles. And I figure any man that's got the fortitude to pull that cart that he was pulling, he's got to be a good man. He's got to have a good heart. Because there ain't many men could do that, or would do that, and following right there with his woman taking care of her, watching out for her. And her walking along, pulling her cart. But I will say this, any little donations that come in the next, what time is it? And I have their phone number too.
4:45.
4:45. Any little donations that come um, in 24 hours, okay, I'm going to send it to them. But I may not send it all at once because, again, I don't want to hit them with too much money. I just want to make sure they got something to eat each day and something to get water with, because they've got tents and they're tough people. They can handle it. I mean, he's pulling a five, I'm not even kidding, 500 pound. Do we have the video?
I sent it to your Google Voice.
You did?
Yep.
Okay, apparently we got some of the video. Let me see where it's at.
I have to get out of here, sir.
Okay.
I love you guys. Me too. But I'll be sending something myself too. So
I don't see it
I
on my.
got you.
Oh, I see it now. Okay, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here.
Have a good weekend, everybody. See you Monday.
And God bless.
And I'll talk to y'all guys later on. But for y'all guys that are still watching, let me pull this up here, if I can.
How do I leave the studio?
Just close the window.
Hit the exit button, Shannon.
Yes,
The X
it's okay.
in the corner. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Just close the window. Okay.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? I need to bring this down here, I think. And then I've got to come up here. It's all new ways of doing things, guys, so bear with me for a second. Okay, so here it is. Yeah, and let me make sure that y'all guys can actually see. I think you can. Is that showing up on the feed?
Yep.
Yes, okay, it is.
Yep.
Alright, so here they are walking down the street. This was obviously before I went and talked to them. What happened? Okay, there we go. I don't know why this video is playing so jerky. That's him there, with that big cart full of stuff. And
The
he's
woman had already made it across to the store. That's the second part of the video.
yeah. You can see how
God
yeah. Anyways, I'm not trying to play tearjerker on you for these guys, but I couldn't help it. I had to do something for them, and just leave it at that. Just leave it at that.
How close we get to the highway now.
Yeah, we're very close to the highway. But anyways, guys, I love you, and like I said, any donation that comes in the next 24 hours, I'll get it to them, put them on a little budget for a few days, and maybe we can at least make sure that people got something to eat. That's all I'm thinking, something to eat and water. They're tough as nails. They'll sleep in the woods. It ain't gonna bother them too much. They've already been doing it. To get where they're at here, they've already walked like 30 miles from Myrtle Beach. Anyways, I love you guys, and we'll see you next time on the Supernatural Show. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, somewhere between 2:30, 3 o'clock. We always go live. I love you. Thank you very much. Thank you to Roxy. Thank you to Miss Kim. Thank you to Shannon. Thank you to Super Dave and Mike Smith. And thank you to you guys, the viewers, for watching the show today. I hope you got something out of it. Have a great day.